Hi guys, welcome to my channel Audio Video Me. In today's video I'm going to show you the Sigma 10 to 20 mm fixed aperture f3.5 lens. Now this is a better version. There's another version which is I believe f4 to 5.6 aperture. This is the better version. Why? Because it's really good for indoor videos, and I'll show you how in a minute. Basically, I do a lot of product reviews and I show a lot of sound equipment and stuff. And my room is quite small. So I needed a wide angle lens and this fit the purpose well. But as I go along, I'll show you the pros and cons for videography. Now, this is not for photography a review or demonstration. This is purely for videography. At the moment I'm shooting at 3200 Kelvin inside with fluorescent inside light, and my shutter speed is 1 of the 50th, and the aperture is set to f3.5, and my ISO is about 800 at the moment. To go with the cons first. Now, as I said, this is a really wide angle lens, and I'll show you in a minute. Like if I zoom in, this is about 20 mm focal length. This is 17, this is 14, this is 12, this is 10. And if you zoom in and adjust your focus and then just zoom out, then while you're shooting almost everything will be in focus, so you don't have to worry about the focus in this lens too much. But I'll go with the focus motor as well for AF mode, and let's go. And if you select the autofocus mode, the autofocus, it's pretty fast on this thing. I mean, it focuses really fast, as you can see. If I do like this, and if I just zoom out, so it's doing focus pretty fast. And as I said, if you're shooting normal, almost everything is going to be in focus anyways in this lens, so you don't have to worry about autofocus too much. And now, one downside is it has got hypersonic motor installed for autofocus, and that motor is not the silent one as the Canon STM lenses, but it's not that bad as well. I'll show you, I'll record the dB level of autofocus as well. So if you are using a microphone, just one sec, on top of your DSLR camera, then I don't recommend using the autofocus mode, because that picks up some noise of HSM motor. And I'll show you exactly. Okay, so as we are recording right now, and you can see that this is my microphone. It's on top of, it's the shotgun microphone. It's on top of the lens, and the lens is in autofocus mode at the moment. So I'm just going to try to zoom in like this at 20 mm and zoom out like this. So the lens does autofocus, but while I'm doing that, I'm not gonna speak anything, and I'll show you the dB levels of that autofocus on my recorder or on my viewfinder. Okay, so as I said, I'm not gonna speak anything. I'll just do a recording. Okay, so there you go. So I'm at 10 mm at the moment, and let's go. Okay guys, this would roughly give you an idea of how much the HSM motor sounds in dB level on this lens. As I said, if your microphone is on top of your DSLR camera, then I wouldn't recommend using autofocus for videography. If your camera is elsewhere, if your microphone is elsewhere on a boom stand or just away from the lens, then that's fine. Or if you're using a lapel microphone for interviews, again, it's fine as well. It's not going to pick up the noise. But if the microphone is on top of the DSLR camera, do not use autofocus at it, as it produces higher sound. While it's autofocusing, it's adjusting the macros, and this motor is not as silent as the Canon STM. But again, this is a better lens than 10 to 18 mm in terms of build quality, and I think in terms of optics as well. Some probably would disagree, but I've tested both, and for videography this sits well for my purpose. Although it hasn't got the image stabilization or optical stabilization as Sigma calls it. But as I said, I'm going to be using this lens on a tripod, so I don't need image stabilization or optical stabilization. If you are a handheld videographer, then I think you should opt out for Canon 10 to 18, as it has got image stabilization, and it's pretty good. But if you're going to use the lens most of the time on the tripod, then I would recommend Sigma 10 to 20 mm. Okay, so next I'm gonna explain you about the HSM motor for autofocus. Sigma makes two type of hypersonic motors. One is the ring type and one is the micro type. Now this one is the ring type. As long your camera is set up to autofocus single shoot mode, and what you can do is, while autofocus, you can just do the manual focus as well. So you can move this ring and it's not gonna damage the mechanism inside. It's not gonna damage the motor. So it's the HSM ring motor, which means if it's in AF mode, you can still use this. Okay, next what I'll do is I'll take the camera outside and I'll shoot it in natural light, just to give you guys an idea about how the recording would work in natural light and against sunlight for video work, if you happen to use the video work outside. What else? It comes with this hood, and the build quality is really good. The zoom ring is quite fluent, but the focus ring it's like you have to apply some force in order to do the focusing. So make sure when you're in manual mode and you want to do the focus, then you should know that it's not one of the fluent focus, but it's a very well built lens. Okay, now another thing I want to mention is that it does give some Bucha effect, as you call it. So like, let's say I have this. As you can see, this has focused the object and the background is a bit blurry, and as I bring this closer, you can see that my speaker is blurred now and the object is in focus, and now the object is out of focus and the background is in focus. Okay, so that was on autofocus. I'm just going to turn it to manual focus so I can give the same effect. So at the moment the phone is out of focus, and I'm just gonna make it in focus and make the background. So there you go. So now the phone is in focus and the speaker is out of focus. So it does give you some Bucha effect as well for video recording as well. I'm just gonna turn on the, there you go. Okay. Okay guys, next what I'll do is I'll just take the lens outside and I'll just record a video, I'll just shoot a video outside just so you guys can get an idea. But as I said, if you're looking a quiet motor for autofocus, and if it's a big deal for you, then don't buy this lens, because and if you're gonna use for video work and your microphone is always on top of the DSLR, then don't go for this lens. But if you're going to use this lens in manual focus, even if your microphone is on top of your DSLR, then go ahead, it's a brilliant lens. And as I said, it doesn't have image stabilization or optical stabilization. Already told you that you can do autofocus. If you're in autofocus mode, you can still move the focus ring to do manual focusing. Okay, let's go outside now. Alright guys, so I'm just outside right now, and it's a very bright day here in London, and I'm just shooting my garden at the moment, and as you can see, that's a big tree right there. So this is 10 mm and I'm shooting at 400 Kelvin. ISO is set to 100, shutter speed is 1/170th, and the aperture, I'm keeping it the same as f3.5 through all focal lengths, so the light doesn't change. Okay, so I'm just gonna try to zoom in now, and as you can see, this is about 20 mm, and just gonna zoom out. And at the moment it's on autofocus, but the microphone is turned towards me, so probably it's not gonna pick up the autofocus motor noise. There you go. As you can see, the autofocus mode is pretty fast as well. It's not that bad. At the moment it's hazy. It's the sky is not clear at the moment. It's like a bit grayish. So it's doing all the auto focusing. And as this is on a tripod, so you don't need image stabilization or optical stabilization. Okay guys, hope you have liked this video and my review and my thoughts about this lens. If you have, then please click on the like icon and subscribe to my channel, and I'll keep making good AV videos. Alright, thank you. Bye.